Here's how Fiverr saved my website. Hi, I'm Lauren McGowan. I'm a content creator and owner of
Mm. Mm, 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 mm. All right. All right, everybody. I'm here. You might be asking yourself, you're an hour, 30 minutes late. Not only that, the intro was 10 minutes. What's going on? Okay. Very simple answer. Not to dox myself a little bit, kind of. Not really. Um, it's going to snow. It's already snowing today and tomorrow, apparently. And it's going to be about 8 to 12 inches, apparently. Um, so before the stream start was supposed to start at 3, like an hour before, I, along with others, um, went outside and tried to fix up our snow blowers, um, to make sure that they were ready for the upcoming snow. Now it has been like a year or two since the last snowstorm that was major enough to warrant using a snowblower. So it has been a long time. We have a bunch of like machines that we found like on the side of the road. Uh, very cheap. We're very cheap. Um, and yeah, out of like the three that we have, two of them turned on. Um, and one of them was a hassle to fix to turn on, which is why I am late. An hour and 30 minutes late. The reason why the intro was a 10-minute intro was because I hadn't eaten before that entire debacle. So afterwards, I ate, and I basically sat here for 10 minutes eating. Yeah, but I'm here. So, what are we doing today? I want to get the living room done. It's very simple. All I need to do is color the plant and um, multiply the amount of books that I have, which is currently one. So the cabinet like looks more filled because it'd be kind of weird if there was just one book. Sorry, like I said, I just finished eating, so I ate very quickly, which probably wasn't a bad idea. Good idea. Okay, so because um uh the stream will end maybe a bit earlier today. The reason for that is because, like I said, it's snowing. Um, and how do I explain this? I'm gonna have to go out at night to clean the driveway. Um, because uh, you know, people use it. And so someone's gonna be home very late, so I need to go out and clean the driveway, to make sure that they're able to go up it and not slide around and stuff like that. Uh, so today's gonna be a bit of a chill day because I'm going to have to use a lot of effort, and I'll probably be tuckered out tomorrow. Tomorrow's probably gonna be a chill day too. Although to be fair, tomorrow's also gonna snow, so we'll see. But yeah, because it's chilly, because it's snowing, today is going to be a chill day. Now, this is how that structure is gonna go. I'm going to finish the living room 100%. Just because it's a chill day doesn't mean I'm not gonna finish it. Um, there's very little to do, which is why I'm like, I'm going to finish it regardless. After that, we will probably do the thing I said we'll do yesterday, which is going through my Google Docs and organizing the links, throwing the ones that I think aren't very useful out, uh, putting them in categories so that I could use them to help me. All right? We'll do that until I get bored, which might be like an hour in, or it might be like 2 minutes in. It kind of depends. I am sort of like taking a bit of chill today, so if something just like is very boring to me or doesn't really pique my interest, I'll just skip it. And we'll probably spend most of the time today playing games. I'll play 20 minutes till dawn. Might hop on, do my dailies earlier than I usually do, and then we could play like maybe some Ghostwire Tokyo. Maybe I don't want to do Elden Ring. There's a bunch of other games I have. Oh, we could play Binding of Isaac multiplayer. I haven't checked if they've updated that. Let me see. Where is it? Ooh, there has been some changes. Revive mechanics added to each floor. Sun card plus Isaac's bed heals all players. Co-op Ghost flight plus can interact with some objects. Co-op Ghost revived by Eternal Heart. Oh, that's cool. Left alt, left L3 emote wheel. Okay, they added an emote wheel. Fixes. Okay, so that was all the additions. Sadly, still no custom rooms. It's a shame. I hate it. Started items are accessible if unlocked. Lost and Tainted Lost health. Oh shit. Sorry, I clicked on it. After revival corrected. School bag doesn't drop second active item on death. Rerun save issue. No victory lap. Completion marks. Cannot join. Victory lap in progress. Revival cosmetic issues. Runs unjoinable when victory lap begins. Tainted blue baby with birthright correct poop limit. Okay. So there were some additions. Um, like I said, the last time there was a beta, the ooh, Toby Fox is trending. I need to look at that. Um, sorry. Hopefully it's a good thing. um, the whole custom room thing seems like something that they'll add like at the beginning of a beta because it's like such a big thing to add, I think. So hopefully they'll add it next one. Okay, sorry, I'm so dumb. I'm sorry reading the comments and people are just talking nonsense. What is this? What is this? I can't put the music on anything wrong. Okay, no. It's just I don't know. I don't get it. Sorry. I was looking at the Toby Fox stuff. Um I don't really know. I don't really follow Undertale and stuff like that, but apparently there was like a fan game and then some controversy happened not involving Toby Fox. Then Toby Fox just today responded to it, and he donated some money and also talked about other things. Nah, all good. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Sorry, I forgot. I honestly don't remember. But yeah, we're gonna be chill today. So sorry if things are a bit slow. I'm chillaxing, okay? I'm gonna have to go out and push a heavy ass snowblower around uh for like an hour or more. Um, so I'm taking things chill, okay? Don't hate me. Oh, I remember what I was gonna talk about. Yesterday, I guess I should start working while I talk. Uh, Yesterday, um, I was like getting to bed, but I fell asleep like face forward, basically almost. So my teeth were like pushing into my tongue, and when I woke up, the left side of my tongue like was weirdly like almost numb and hard. And I was like swallowing just now, and I felt the familiar um sensation that was yesterday night. I'm okay now though. Not that big of a deal. Okay. So I'm gonna do the hardest part first, which I think is the coloring. Um Wait, what? Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry. Let me pull up the references. I disabled them because in the morning today before I did all that other stuff that I talked about just now, um I I did what I said I was going to do yesterday, and I took pictures of all the things that I did. Um so I don't have to, because usually, which is very dumb. I don't know why I didn't think of like this sooner. But usually I think I'm going to post right now, or like, it's been a while since I posted. I'm gonna post today, and then I go into my Blender file. Use like this snipper tool. I take a screenshot, uh, and then I close out of the Blender tab and post it, which is a very dumb way to do it. I should just like, especially like now. Uh, what? When I have like everything almost done, it's a lot easier for me just to like take the picture of all of them in one place and not have to worry too much about, taking everything. The only thing I don't have is the fully rendered um, room, because, like I said, I need to finish the plant and I need to add more books to the shelf. And also, um, I haven't showed the room. I need to take that one actually. There's the obvious issue that I need to have lights, otherwise it just looks very dull. Um, anyway, sorry. I want to try out some of these brushes because I don't know which one will look good here. Um, okay, obviously not that one, unless like do something like this. Wait, do I have a line on it? Hold on. Okay, no, never mind. I think they're like too big. I mean, I obviously could shrink them down, but then it's like, oh, okay, wait, you know what? That might work. Kind of just looks like squiggles, though. Alright, let's try. So, not this one. Steak? Oh. Oh, that kind of works. Hmm. I don't hate that. Particles, no. What is this? Hard round? Oh, it's kind of like the airbrush, but just kind of more round, I guess. And a lot softer, I think. Alright, let's try this one. I thought this one would be quite good. Just because, like, half of it's kind of, like, blurry. I think the other one might be better, though. I don't know how I would even do this. Yeah, the other one just seems more natural, I think. And then we have this one, which, okay, I already did that one. Never mind. Okay, let's go with, steak, was it? Alright, now let me look at the reference so I could get, like, a good inspiration. Oh, I think I might have to go like this. But yeah, yesterday, we played some more Spelunky, which is really fun. I feel like we're getting better at the game, so it's a lot more entertaining. I feel like this is gonna take a minute. I'm not gonna try to be perfect. It's a plant, so I assume plants aren't very perfect in their creation either. You know, you don't expect a plant to be perfect. But yeah, because Splunky's going so well and they seem to be enjoying it, they might actually enjoy the Binding of Isaac. Since, I mean, I feel like Splunky's a lot more fast paced. It's very much like go, 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 at least how we play it. I think in the original Spelunky, when you played, oh, maybe it was just co-op. I don't think we played online, if online was even available for the first Spelunky. Um, but I think you have to be on the same screen like all the time. So it's really nice to play the game. Um, correct me if I'm wrong on that, by the way. Um, really nice to play the game, like not having to like be close to each other like that. I want to see how it looks. Hold on. Where is it? Looks pretty good. And then on the sides, after I'm done doing this for all of them, I'm gonna use a line or not a line tool. I'm gonna use a stabilized stroke and just follow along the line and just color in the ends for all of them. So it's gonna look nice, I think. But yeah, we did some Spelunky. It was really fun. Yeah, got very far actually. If you ever played Spelunky, Um, we got past the two first areas, and we made it to like this like not coal, sorry, coral looking zone that was really cool. That's like the farthest we got, but it was so fun. We literally like couldn't drop it. We were literally like one more game, and then we lost, and we were like one more game, and honestly, we seriously had to stop it because we had to get to bed. Some of us had work and all that, but it was a good game. It makes me want to try the Binding of Isaac with them. I don't know if they'll like it. It is a very different game. Although, like I said, someone's playing on the Steam Deck, so I feel like it'd be very fun on the Steam Deck. What the hell? So yeah, we'll see. I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna like chirp about it. I feel like that's like a surefire way not to like get the game played if I just complain about it. Bring it up all the time. We'll give it a go though, I think, today, maybe. I thought it'd be cool, but then I realized like, oh shit, like people are gonna like depend on me to do good, and I'm pretty ass. Uh, which is why I wanted to like play with viewers, which is why it's a bit of a shame that they haven't added that feature yet. Hopefully they will add it, because it'd be a shame if they didn't. I feel like that's a really big market that they could tap with the whole like multiplayer play with streamer thing. Even if like there could be trolls and stuff, like I feel like it's good. A bigger streamer could do like a raffle system or something. I don't actually know how that works, but there could be ways of like ensuring that people don't troll, and if they do, they probably like could get banned or something. Kind of like with Jackbox, where you're able to like connect. I don't know if that's a good idea, connecting your Twitch to the Binding of Isaac, but like I said, if it's code related, then that means like you could like send codes to people. I don't know, I'm just talking on my ass. Whew. But yeah, we had to fix Snowblower today. It was one of our best ones. It broke down like I said a couple years ago because I was like the last major storm. Yeah, the issue with it was that the auger belt got completely obliterated. It broke, it snapped, and so I ordered a new auger belt, but we just didn't install it because, like I said, it wasn't gonna snow for like a couple years, so it was kind of like, oh, we don't really need to do that right now. Now, obviously, now that it's gonna snow, for like 8 to 12 inches, it's like, ooh, we really need a working snowblower. And luckily, it seems to work. Not only did the auger belt install really nicely, um, it turned on like immediately, which is an issue that the other two snowblowers had, where one of them hasn't turned on at all, and the other one turned on and would then shut itself off over time. So hopefully, as long as one works, we're like fine, because the other people can like shovel, and I can push around the snowblower and stuff like that. So, so far things look good. It's gonna be tough though on my back. It's fine. It's only for like maybe a day or two. Hopefully tomorrow doesn't snow for much longer. I don't know if I talked about this the other day. I think I did, right? I brought it up. With that new VTuber, or not, I don't think they're new, but that VTuber that was popping off recently, the one that has like a sort of old cartoon, black and white rubber hose style look. Um, it had me thinking of like, should I come up with like a gimmick or like a sort of theme for my channel? Not only for like, and I also started thinking of like, oh, like a long time ago, I looked up like ways to like customize your channel, and I could like customize my like offline screen and my um like I already kind of like customized like my follower alert. I haven't been able to see it because like all I see is when Steam alerts Stream Elements tells me someone followed, but I can't actually see the animation that I made. Um, but yeah, I was thinking like, should I come up with an aesthetic to sort of base my channel around? It'd make things a lot easier. I think maybe a lot more uniform when it comes to like the design that I choose. It also could help a lot with like the VTuber stuff is if I like make sure that they go together, they like mesh, and it's not weird. And I don't know what that's kind of like why I started talking about it. I don't know what sort of aesthetic to choose, if I'm being honest. Wait, hold on, give me a moment. I think I hear someone trying to get up the thing and failing. Hold on. Yeah, everything seems fine, at least from my angle. Sorry. Ooh. Oh shit, let us continue. Okay, maybe that's too much. I was like, what if this one was like very heavy on like the sort of detail, but then I was like, okay, that kind of looks bad. Ooh. But yeah, like I was saying, aesthetic. What should I choose? I need to think about like what interests me and stuff like that. It's very difficult. I don't have a lot of very interesting interests, if I have to be honest. Interesting little interests. I'm a little bit on the edge on kind of like ideas. I don't know exactly what to do. Obviously, I don't have to figure it out like today, but it is like something that's gonna like stay on my mind until I am able to figure it out. however long that takes, obviously. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like other things I've worked on. Um, I guess I'm taking a little bit of inspiration from the sort of games that I wanted to make back when how I actually like tried to make some games. I do want to talk about my thought process on those. I'm a person who really likes to jot down their ideas either on like a notepad, like the Notes pad app on my phone, or like on a Google Doc. So when it came to sort of thinking about the game and how it's gonna work, I wrote down all the information about it on a notepad. Actually, not on a notepad, on the Google Doc. Um, so I have like a very comprehensive, like, I guess, sort of idea of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. I would like to talk about that someday. I feel like I should save it though, for like a day, uh, like a day where it's interesting, a lot more interesting, I think. But I feel like I should probably talk about it a little bit due to uh due due to me starting to think about a sort of aesthetic and going back to that idea. It could work. What is this? Any idea? I'm not drinking. Okay, what I need ideas. Do you have right now an adventure game do you would like to add? An adventure game? Hmm. It's very broad. It's also really weird that I was talking about dev stuff and this came up. Strange. Is there any way to kind of make a game, but I need ideas. The only idea I have right now, adventure game. Do you have anything you would like to add? Hmm. I don't know. Usually when I think about games, I think about two things. Story and mechanics. Um, Creating a good story, I think, is key. I think. I don't really know of any ideas, though. Sorry. Hmm. Yeah. I think if you have, like, a good story and, like, a good, world to build the game around, I feel like it has a chance of making things a lot more interesting. But yeah, game mechanics. It's good to pick a good one. Um, One idea that I had was, especially like once I got later into like once I realized that like the original game I wanted to make wasn't like gonna pan out because it's gonna take a lot of work, and I was still very new to I guess like game development maybe. Um, it's nice to like sort of copy genres that are popular. Uh, Deck building is very popular. Uh, Maybe it isn't now, but like it was. Vampire Survivor style game like that is also really cool. That's kind of what I was gonna do. I was gonna make a new game with a new mechanic. Um, one of those popular mechanics because I thought it'd be cool, and it also allow me kind of like how I do Blender nowadays, where it's like, ooh, I could have like a taste of each like individual style. Um, so I could, like, when usually now I do like, ooh, I could like make a VTubing model and I can make a VR chat model, but it's like I can make a deck building game and I can make a uh, puzzle game and I can make a point and click adventure game or something like that. That was kind of my idea that I had. It's a big loser, lol W. I just realized your name is literally Big Loser. But yeah, it's a very broad idea though. Adventure game? I feel like that's very broad. At least to me. Not very, I like to be very specific, I think. Mm, mm, mm. I think I'm getting close to being done. Two more, and I'm done. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it, I guess. I won't go into too much details. Um, I'll save that for another stream in the future. In my mind, I assume like there'd be a lot more people here when I talk about it. Um, but it's fine. So I thought, uh, how do I explain this? Like I said before, um, when talking about like OCs, and I guess also in the same ballpark, talking about the sort of game ideas that I had, I find it a little bit embarrassing to sort of go over it, because then I feel like I need to justify like my idea. Like I wanted to do this, and this is the reason why I wanted to do it. By the way, like there is like a valid reason why I wanted to do it this way. Um, yeah, it's just awkward to like talk about something that, I mean, I don't know how long I spent on it, but like I definitely spent a lot of time thinking about it. I remember being in school and like writing down some ideas on sticky notes. Hold on, I need to sneeze. Sorry, it wasn't gonna come out for a second. But yeah, like I was saying, it's I find it a little bit embarrassing because and I get very nervous because it feels like yeah, like I said, I have to like explain myself. Like why do you want to do it this way? Like what about your life makes you think this would be a good idea or something like that, something really stupid. It's probably not that big of a deal if I'm being quite honest. But that's just how I think of things. Like I said, I'm a very private person. I'm very anxious. I assume I suffer with some sort of social anxiety of some kind, although I've not been diagnosed, obviously, because that would mean going to a doctor, and I think that kind of goes against. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. I think they're all done. Look at that. All right. So, like I said, now I'll switch back to drawing. I will pick stabilized stroke, drop it to 30, just because the video did it that way. And now I need to find like a good size for me to sort of follow, trace along. Whoops, I need a color. Hold on. But yeah, sorry. I'll talk about what I wanted to talk about in a minute. Hold on. I'm getting distracted. I need to find which one this is so I could sort of see how it looks. Shit. So yeah, like I said, I was gonna follow along the line like this. Oh, I think it's this one. Like, is that too close? That's what I'm asking. Like, is that too much? Or is that like the right size? Go up a little farther. I should probably look at the reference. Hold on. Wait, where's the reference? Oh, there it is. It varies between things. As you can see, this one is very thick. This one is very small. Um, it thins out towards the end, I think. So I need to like pull back towards the end. Otherwise, it starts to look weird. Where was it again? Oh, there it is. So what do you think of that? I think that's pretty decent, actually. Here, let me do both sides a little bit. I think I'll be able to tell better. Uh, a sort of like Inscription game was sort of like something that I wanted to try out as well. I don't think I came up with an idea for that sort of genre, but that was something else I wanted to try out. The reason why I bring it up is because recently I've been seeing a game being played occasionally, which is kind of like Inscription based. Um, and you're playing like Russian roulette with a shotgun. And just like Inscription, you have like items and stuff to like sort of assist you a little bit. Um, and you're playing against like some sort of beast or monster. Um, there's like blanks and actual live rounds in the gun. Something like that's very interesting, you know? See, I want to do something like this. How does that look? Is that like good or is that like bad? It's alright. I feel like the patterns in on these branches are very samey. I should definitely have a lot more areas that are darker, I think. The question is, do I go back and edit all of these again? I could add some splotches. Let's do that, actually. We'll keep that the first one I did the same, but let me let me go into these and add like a bit more detail to add a bit more darkness to some areas. Otherwise, it just starts to look very samey. Oh shit, not that. They're all like in the same UVs or like same edges, so it's kind of like looks very bad. But yeah, sorry. Let me talk about like the sort of aesthetic that I was going for with my games. Um, because the idea behind it was okay. I thought of my first game, okay, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool if it had a bunch of these things and a bunch of other things? And I came up with a bunch of ideas. I think I wrote them all down. I might be wrong about that though. No, yeah, I definitely did write some things down. I just don't remember where I put them. They might be in Google Docs. They might be in some notes on my phone somewhere. Sometimes I get inspirations and I write things down on my phone notes because it's a lot easier that way to sort of do it there. I also do have the Google Docs app, which I could do it like that way too. I just for some reason don't. But yeah, um, I wanted to make that game. It seemed cool. I had a bunch of like ideas that were probably a bit far-fetched. Uh, it, it probably would take like a long time to make or like implement, and I don't even know if it would even be like good. That's a problem with like sort of thinking of like a story slash ideas. It's like the implementation of it. Like, will I be able to sort of like implement? Will this be too complicated? Kind of idea. Um, so I started developing that game in Unreal Engine. Uh, and that was before I was too confident with like my programming skills. So I relied very heavily on the blueprint system that Unreal Engine has. That was also the reason why I was a bit hesitant on moving to any of the other uh, engines because they didn't have that system. Um, so I was like, I kind of need this because I didn't think I was a very good programmer at the time. Um, it wasn't until much later that I moved to Unity. Uh, and I personally realized that programming the mechanics in was a little bit easier. At least personally, I felt like I had a lot more control with certain things. Obviously, things are very different. People will like certain things, but that's just how I felt. But yeah, um, so I came up with that first game. Um, I kind of was like, this is too difficult. I'm not that expert or like that good at like programming, or actually I wasn't programming at that time, but I'm not that good at like sort of trying to get this down to make it work correctly. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a new game that is potentially easier to make, to sort of like get my head in the game, you know? Kind of like I shouldn't start off trying to make a insanely good game or like a very insanely complicated game um, when I've never made a game before. I should start off smaller and work my way up. Was kind of my idea, I think. So I started making this other game uh, in the Unreal Engine, and it was at that point that I kind of realized the Unreal Engine isn't really, or at least like I think I looked it up. I was like, the Unreal Engine isn't really that great for 2D games. And like I said back then, or I think I mentioned this before, and obviously you could see, I'm not I'm not a 2D artist, okay? And the games, because it was easier, I think, that I wanted to make were 2D games, because you know you're functioning on like a 2D plane. If you're functioning on a 3D plane, then you have to sort of program in third dimensions and not in two dimensions, which requires a lot more work, I think. Um, I might be wrong about that. I don't remember why I chose. I also really like pixel art games. I think they look really nice. Like 20 Minutes Till Dawn is like really, it looks really nice. It's also really funny. When I opened up the game the first time and I saw the characters and I was like, they're all women. And then I was like, that's kind of what I do. You know? Like all the models that I make are women. Like isn't that funny? Um but yeah, like I was saying, um I started making it in Unreal Engine, and then I was like, that's when I started to look up like alternatives, and that's when I was like, okay, I think I should do the shift to Unity, and so that's what I did. Then I started making the game in Unity, I think, which is going a lot easier, I think, because like I said, um, Unreal Engine didn't really have a supportive system for 2D games. So, and also I think I was programming at that point. So it was kind of like a bit easier, I think, for me. But um, the game was a bit of like a point and click adventure. So most of the mechanics were um, were dominated by the art. Like I needed to sort of draw certain like interactables. And like I said, I wasn't a good artist and I wanted it to be pixel art. And I was not a very good pixel artist. Um, so I was like, okay, this game is very art heavy. let's make a game that isn't as art heavy, quote unquote. Though to be fair, though, the next two games probably would be art heavy. I'm just an idiot who decided to move on to something else. Um, and so I don't remember how it happened next. I came up with an idea, and then I started making the game. And then while I was making the game, that's when I sort of came up with the idea of why don't I make a game for every sort of like popular game genre? Because then that would like sort of force me to make games in this genre, which would mean that I would get like some sort of experience on how like they work. Um, and yeah, I thought it'd be fun. So while I was making that game, I was thinking about another game that I could make. Sorry, I got a text message. It's nothing. It was just a video. I'll look at it in a minute. Um, so yeah. So, and I guess I was already kind of doing that because the first game, the sort of quote unquote magnum opus of my idea, it sort of like started becoming that as I started to think about like the other games I was making. That was supposed to be like a Binding of Isaac slash Hades roguelike, uh, like I guess third person, like looking down, type of game. Because I think those games are quite nice, and fun and interesting. Um, the second game I tried to make was a bit more of like a point and click adventure. Um, and then the game that I started making, uh, truly was kind of like an auto battler. And then the other game that I came up with was a bit more like a Risk of Rain type deck builder. Um, that one I didn't really start developing at all. The last one, I mean, just because it was more of an idea than it was like an actual um, physical game. Ugh, sorry, let me check out this text. Hold on. Sorry. Hmm. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I got distracted. Hmm. So like I was saying, yeah. So like I was saying, um, the game that I got the closest to finishing was the um, the auto battler. Wait, hold on. Is this right? Hold on. Yeah. The issue with the game was a number of things. One of the major ones, of course, like the first, or I guess the second game I tried to make, was I needed to make art for it. The game was pretty much done. It just needed art. And like I said, uh, sorry, I got distracted. Um, like I was saying, um, I'm not a very good pixel artist, and while I was trying to make art for the game, I was spending less and less time with the other issue, which was around the halfway point of making the game. I gave up on trying to um, sort of test it out for bug fixes, because I'm pretty sure this is more of like a me issue, 100%, with me not being very savvy on like how games are made. Um, but the game was very prone to crashes. If one thing did not go as planned, the game would crash, which 100% is an issue that I should have resolved, or like should have learned how to sort of resolve from the beginning. Um, so yeah, like I said, about halfway, um, it was very prone to crashing. Uh, or it was always prone to crashing, but around halfway, I stopped testing the new sort of like additions that I was making to the game. So I was spending less and less time working on the programming aspect and more time working on the art aspect, that I became very I started to like forget what I did on the programming aspect, and that meant that it made it very like intimidating to go back into the programming aspect again, especially since I felt like it's been so long that I would have forgotten a lot of the things that I did. Um, and that's ultimately what ended up killing the project, I think. Um, it's very hard to do it all by yourself. I realized, and that wasn't even counting the fact that after the programming's done and after the art's done, I also need to put music or sound into it as well. Um, and obviously, it doesn't even go into the fact that like, is the game even fun? Question mark. Like, would anyone actually like enjoy playing this game? Um, that was definitely another issue I had while I was making it. Like, figuring out, I guess, sort of like the difficulty slash like how would people like sort of play the game. It was very interesting. I don't know what I would have done differently, is what I mean. Maybe look into how to manage, I guess, like error catching, so that crashes don't, like, the game doesn't immediately like break as soon as like something isn't done correctly. But anyway, sorry, I was talking about aesthetic before this, and the reason why I brought up the gaming aspect of it is because of the first game that I thought of. Kind of dictated the style that the rest of my games were going to be. And the reason for that was wait, what? The reason for that was I came up with an idea for the first game, and then I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if all my games were connected in some way? Obviously, not like explicitly, like, um, this is the 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 Squeakening Part 2, but like maybe there's like some Easter eggs tied in, and maybe they like take place in the same sort of, I guess, universe. I don't know why I thought that was cool, and I still do kind of think it's cool. The idea that is. So yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I guess I should comment on what that aesthetic was. Let me save the image. Holy shit, I have not saved the image since I started. That could have been really bad. Okay, so not to give too much away on the first game, I guess this will, I don't know. It's like a pretty decent chunk of the game, or like the sort of idea of the game. Basically, when thinking about it, I was like, I felt like I had to create an interesting, uh, sort of environment, and I guess like story, I guess you could also lump in there. So I thought of like the two games that sort of inspired it. I think when I was making it, I didn't play Hades. It was only like years later that I actually tried out Hades. But I knew that when people talked about like roguelites, they would uh, use Binding of Isaac and Hades together as like really grand examples of like a good game. Which is why I bring it up sometimes. But Binding of Isaac has like sort of religious undertones. Um, Hades is very obviously about Greek, sort of like Greek mythology or some sort of like mythology of the olden days. Um, so I was thinking, what is my game gonna have that is different and that is interesting? And I thought, uh, what I could go with is cryptozoology. I thought that was interesting. Um, and so what I ended up doing was I ended up going to the wiki of cryptozoology, and it's basically just like a gigantic monsters catalog. And basically what I did was I went in order of like A to Z. And I clicked on like each one and I read a little bit about like their stories or whatever. And I sort of like in a Google Doc noted down this enemy. What would it be categorized? You know, is it like a common enemy? Is it like a mini boss? Is it like an actual boss? Um, what kind of attacks would it have? Like that. Um, and so like I said, um, all future games kind of followed in the exact same sort of aesthetic of like supernatural slash cryptozoology style of an idea. And so yeah, like I said, I bring that up because I was thinking of an aesthetic to go with when it comes to my channel that I think would be interesting. And I gravitated towards that since that was sort of like a major idea that I had back in the day. Um, a really big cryptid that sort of gained a lot of popularity recently was the Skinwalker. Uh, and I thought it'd be cool if I made like a character that is able to sort of like swap between different characters. That was sort of like I was sort of thinking of that as sort of being like an explanation for me to sort of use every model that I make as a VTuber model. If I could turn into them individually, then I think that'd be kind of interesting. Although I did see something like that. I think I checked out this guy's Twitch, and he had something similar to that. But instead of like actively turning into those characters, he just had like a bit of a costume on, I think. But I don't know if I would do something like that. Usually when it comes to games, and specifically when I was playing VR chat, I gravitated towards characters that weren't really like humanoid. Um, I gravitated towards that little moth guy and stuff like that. So I think if I were to make like a VTubing model, I wouldn't make like something that looks like me or like something strictly humanoid. Which is why I gave the sort of Skinwalker idea a bit of a think. But I don't know. And again, I was trying to think of like an aesthetic um to go with, and I'm not exactly sure. I'm not really interested in anything like that. Even though I chose cryptozoology as this sort of, I guess, like idea behind my games, I guess. I wasn't actually like interested in it. Like, I wouldn't say like I was like I don't know. I didn't choose it because I was originally interested in it. I chose it because um it's interesting, you know? It kind of reminds you a bit of like SCP kind of stuff, which again is another thing that I'm not that interested in. Um, or like the Mandela Catalog or like the back rooms. It's always very interesting, I think, to come up with like a world with like characters in it that like everyone knows about. That's why I think why people really like I think that's how why I think I would gravitate towards those ideas. Because I think it's cool to like be like, oh, I know that guy. That's SCP 10 billion, or I know that's the Wanderer from the Backrooms. You know, it's like it's interesting to have those characters. Or like it's like a team. Like, oh, that's like it's like or like when it comes to like abilities, I guess it's like, ooh, that person can run really fast or something like that. You know, it's always interesting to sort of differentiate uh both people and I guess like creatures into like categories like that. It's always I think it's fun. Which is why I assume people like those sort of things because it's like, oh, I know what that is. Like I've read about it, and it kind of has like a bit of I guess more of like a nerdier aspect of it, where you could like talk and discuss almost like how anime people like discuss power scaling of like, oh, well, this character obviously beats this character because in this panel of the manga, they used an attack and it blew up the city. Meanwhile, this character has never done that before, so obviously they will lose. Um, People like to discuss the minutia of like characters. Um, like some of the ideas of some like characters that I think of making in the future. were inspired by me listening to like music. You ever do that? I listen to music sometimes and I think of like stories or like scenarios. I guess kind of like I don't know what the term is. Um HMVs maybe? I don't know the term. But like people sometimes pair scenes from like an anime or from like a cartoon or movie with like music in the background because like the music kind of matches, so kind of makes sense. But yeah, sometimes I do that. I don't really do that often because I don't listen to music as much as I used to. I used to listen to a lot more music back in the day because I would drive to school, and while driving to school, I would put on like a Spotify, or if I like listen to something randomly, like pop up like on like I was gonna say Twitch, on TikTok, I would be like I'll look up the song and I'll listen to it in the car while I drove. Um, and you're by yourself. You're driving. It's silent, obviously, not counting the music. Um, and you're just like thinking of like scenarios and like stories. And yeah, that's what I would do. And I would think of like characters while listening to music that I thought were interesting, at least. But yeah, like I said before, I'm trying to be a bit more open about the things that I've thought about in the past. Trying not to like let it get to me of like, ooh, is it embarrassing to talk about this kind of stuff? Um, because I feel like that stumps my creativity if I'm like always anxious and I guess a little bit afraid of like talking about things that interest me or things that I've thought about that I think are cool. Even if the end it doesn't work out or isn't as cool as I thought it was, at least I give it a try, you know? So yeah, it's also a lot nicer knowing that there's probably no one listening because I'm so small. Um, Usually when people are in the chat, I kind of tense up a little bit. Which I mean like obviously that doesn't mean like don't talk to me. I also like perk up whenever I see someone type in the chat. I remember there was days where I was like very tired or very like bored of what I was doing, and I felt like moving on or like stopping the stream, and then someone would come in and they'd be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I would be like, "Oh, yes, I'm still working. Hello, I'm working." Like it's, I guess it's kind of like a manager coming over and like seeing if you're still working and you like, or I guess kind of like when you're driving and you see like a police officer off the side of your window and you're like suddenly you lock in because you're like I need to pay attention now because even though I'm like an upstanding citizen, what if I'm not, you know? That's how I feel whenever there's like a chatter. um I'm like, ooh, there's someone to talk to, and like I lock in. If I felt like tired, I wake up. If I felt like giving up, I stick around for a little bit longer, you know? But yeah, it's also nice to know that I'm small, because then I could like talk about this kind of stuff and know that the majority of the time people are not gonna listen to this. No one's gonna hear me talking about me ranting about the games that I used to make or try to make at least, and the aesthetics that I might want to do later in the future. But yeah, I don't know. I have to think of something. I don't want to limit myself to an aesthetic though. Like if I do go the cryptid route, I feel like that'd be kind of off with like the other stuff that I can make. I think, maybe not, but like, I don't know. It's very difficult to think of like the right way to do things. Obviously, there's no right way, but like, I'm trying to think about like my future, I guess, going forward with the channel. Ooh. Today has been a pretty chill day though. I feel like this painting part is taking me a lot longer than I thought it would. Um, I thought it would have been done by now, if I'm being quite honest. With the entire thing, not only but the books is gonna take me like very little time. I think, which is the only like heartwarming thing. But yeah, I'm open to suggestions, of course, but I'll be thinking of ways to manage the account. Think about what I want to do. I don't want to be like too professional with it though. This is like a very casual thing. I don't want to be like, welcome. Like, be very, I guess, like, I still want things to feel genuine. I don't want to like play a character, if that makes sense. I did talk about this yesterday, I think. With like VTubing, people usually play a character. And I don't want to do that. Because I'm not a character. I'm the creator of the characters that I make. So it's like different. Unless the character that I'm playing is like a creator, in which case, like that's a little weird, I think. So yeah, I don't know. I'll think of something. And if I don't like what I think of, I could always change it. Nothing is set in stone. It would be nice to get it right the first time. But I'm not gonna I'm not gonna shed myself if I don't. But yeah. Okay. This is the last one. Once I'm done painting this, I'll be done with the plants. I think I might take a little stretch break after this, and then I'll wrap it up with the books, and then we'll probably, I might switch over to gaming immediately afterwards. I might skip the whole organizing my Google Doc folders, not folders, document, um, since I feel like I might want to just like do some chiller stuff. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited either way to figure things out, you know? I think it's going to be pretty fun. There's a lot of things I need to think about. I guess it's just a combination with the whole theme, I guess, or aesthetic of the stream is also making things interesting. I need to figure that out as well. Either way, I'm done. See how it looks like with some lights. There you go. Alright, like I said, allow me to take a little break to stretch my back. It's gonna hurt a lot tonight long. And when I'm back, I will finish the living room by duplicating the books and then also adding some more colors over here so that I can change the color of the covers of the books. So yeah, give me a moment. I'll be right back. I'm back, sorry. I actually went to the bathroom afterwards. And I have a blanket on me. Because I'm gonna have to go outside in like 2 to 3 hours. And it's gonna be cold and it's gonna be snowy. Um, it's gonna suck. Hopefully we can get it done though quickly. Uh, I don't have to struggle with anything. I'm just not looking forward to it. Hmm. All right. Let's work on this. The last thing I need to do before I can call it quits for the blender portion and for the living room, honestly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go into here so that I could see where everything is. Now that I know where everything is, I'm going to start adding the colors. So red's gonna go here. Oh wait, hold on. I need to turn off stabilize stroke. Red will go there. Then we'll have green. We'll have blue. We'll have green and blue. We'll have blue and red. And we'll have red and green. Okay. We'll also have red and 0.5 of green. We'll have red and 0.5, 0.5 of blue. We'll have green and 0.5 of red. And 0.5 of blue. We'll have blue and 0.5 of green. And finally, we will have 0.5 of red. I think that's a good selection of colors. Maybe they're too bright. Maybe I should go from like some darker colors. Like some brown or something. We'll put a brown here. And what else can I put? Some sort of gray. Alright, we'll use the selection. Alright, so let me unhide the furniture. Okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to select this book. And I'm going to, hold on, what the hell? Okay, there we go. I'm going to, whoops, I don't know what I did there. I'm going to copy the book and move it a little bit to the side. And so what I could do now is, hold on, save that image. Go into editor. You see? Now we have a white book and a red book. You see that? Fantastic. That's what I want to do. Okay? So I want to make sure that's selected correctly. So now I'll do that again. And I'll move this book down. And then I'll move this to a different color. I feel like the colors are too bright. It's fine though. Alright, and then we'll take this book and I'll move it like down here. And now that book is pink or magenta. Okay, let me hide this. It's in the way. And I guess I'll hide the couch since that's also in the way. I could do like the fucking Lost meme. What is the Lost meme again? It's like one line, two lines. One line is like on the floor like this. I forgot what it is. I'm not gonna do it. It'd be dumb. Or maybe I should. I feel like that'd be an interesting Easter egg. But I'm not gonna do it right now. I feel like that'd be hard to recognize. I think that's good. I could add more, but I'm not going to. Like I said, if I wanted to, I have a bunch of like a color wheel basically here that I could sort of select from. I might change the colors. They might be a bit too bright and kind of weird looking. I could like pull from this batch of colors. Maybe a bit more realistic, but either way. Let's bring it all together now. Delete that one. Welcome, everyone, to the finished room. As you can see, it's looking pretty good. I need to take a screenshot of the outcome of the. I guess I could render it. But yeah, we're done, guys. Thank you all for sticking along. I feel like it sounds like I'm about to end stream. I'm not. Um, but this is it for the most part. Obviously, like I said, if I want to add more furniture, then I'll put that in its own texture map. As well as, you know, if I do want to add furniture, I want to like accrue a list of furniture I want to add, so I could put all of it into one texture map, to save on texture images and stuff like that. Same with props. If I want to add more props, I want to create a list of props to add, so I can add them all together and in the same texture map. But for the most part, it looks good. I really like the way it turned out. It was different, very different to what I usually do. I usually focus on characters, and this is a setting, so it was still very fun to do. It was still very interesting to do, and I'm excited moving forward what we are going to do, which, like I said, we're going to organize uh, my Google Docs so that we could sort of brainstorm which sort of thing I should focus on next, whether it's rigging, texturing, topology, um, hair, I guess, is a contender. Um, Stuff like that, you know? So we'll figure that out tomorrow, though. I was gonna do it today, but like I said, chill day due to me having to go out later to clear up some snow. So instead, we're switching over to gaming. Um, Almost like 2 hours in, and we're switching over to gaming. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Sorry, I'm just looking at some stuff. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to launch 20 Minutes Till Dawn. We'll play that for like maybe a round or two, depending on like how long it goes. Or then we'll switch over to Honkai Star Rail. And then after I do my dailies, I might switch over to the Binding of Isaac online multiplayer beta. Or I might just play like Ghostwire Tokyo. Or I have a bunch of other games I could do. But that's kind of like where I'm at right now. But first, I need another stretch. I'm sorry. So let me set that up real quick. What is this? Or is this Star Rail? Hold on. There. Okay, you should be able to see it now. I'll put the sound on. Yeah. I'll be right back. Sorry. Okay, yeah, baby. Oof, sorry for leaving you guys like empty like that for I think a bit longer. I think I'm gonna have to call it. Sorry guys. Apparently, um, my sister, who is the one who is out right now due to work, left early because apparently it's gotten really bad out there. So I think we're gonna have to go clean the driveway now, before she gets home, so it'll be clean by the time she starts to go up it. So I'm going to preemptively call it a day. Sorry. Hopefully, everything will be fine tomorrow, and I'll keep streaming for longer. The good thing is, though, I did finish the living room today, so I can't complain too much. So yeah, see you guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry this was very short. The weather. Blame the weather. So yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.